Let's imagine the Earth again, but not as we know it now, but as it was 3.5 to 4 billion years ago. We'll start in stages. The planet's surface looked like hell. Volcanoes spew lava. Gases rise into the atmosphere. Powerful thunderstorms thunder. And acid rain falls into the dark oceans. The oceans were also unusual. They weren't blue like they are now. The water was cloudy, saturated with dissolved minerals, and most likely had a reddish-brown tint due to the large amount of iron. The weather conditions were brutal. Due to the lack of oxygen, there was no ozone layer. So the powerful ultraviolet rays of the sun penetrated unhindered to the surface, making it extremely inhospitable. In general, you have roughly imagined what the Earth looked like. Well, in the last video, we touched on bacteria and archaea. Bacteria and archaea, as we understand it, are the first organisms on the planet. Many of them lived deep in the ocean, near underwater volcanoes, where hot water released huge amounts of chemicals. And these bacteria use sulfur, methane, and iron to generate energy. Bacteria were very simple, but they became the basis of all further evolution. Without them, we would not exist. For millions of years, life on Earth has not changed. The planet remained gloomy, devoid of oxygen, and the bacteria continued to live the same way as before. But one day, organisms appeared that changed the entire planet. About 3.5 billion years ago, special bacteria appeared among the multitude. They learned how to use the energy of the sun to obtain nutrients. These were cyanobacteria, and they came up with a process called photosynthesis. How does it work? They took carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They used water from the oceans. They used sunlight to turn it all into food. In this way, cyanobacteria use sunlight to convert carbon dioxide from the air and water from the oceans into their food. It was the creation of food using solar energy. But the byproduct of this reaction was oxygen. At first, this oxygen did not play a big role. It quickly reacted with minerals and disappeared. But cyanobacteria multiplied. There were more and more of them. And at some point, there was too much oxygen to simply dissolve in water. And then global changes began. At this stage, the Archaean era ended, which lasted approximately 4.5 to 2.5 billion years ago. If you don't understand, the first atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere appeared in Archaea in this era. The first unicellular organisms appeared due to the ultraviolet rays of the sun. The first bacteria in Archaea are their development and reproduction. And the next era is the Proterozoic era. But before we get to it, we need to remember exactly what happened. At the very beginning, our planet was molded from dust and rocks whirling around the sun. It was very hot. Everything was boiling and melting, and the Earth has often collided with asteroids. Next is the formation of the Moon. A huge object the size of Mars crashed into the Earth. Its name is Theia. The pieces of ejected matter gathered and formed the Moon. Gradually, the Earth cooled down, and water and the first oceans appeared. And the atmosphere was poisonous, almost without oxygen, and with a lot of volcanic gases. After that, the solid Earth's crust began to form. The first tiny islands appeared, which later became continents. And finally, the appearance of life. The first protozoan bacteria originated in the ocean. They ate chemicals and lived without oxygen. Then cyanobacteria appeared, microbes that learned how to produce oxygen using sunlight. That's how about 2 billion years have flown by on our Earth. Everything took a long time and was moving towards evolution in small steps. That's it! Wait for the sequel!